This is a short presentation about reports. We're going to focus on the genre features, but also the specifics of the assignment that I've given you that we'll be working on over the next couple of weeks. So, the genre features of the report. Basically, the report is informational. It represents information and helps the reader to understand it by organizing it effectively. It has an objective feel, and this relates to the appeals that the report typically makes, which are to logos, reason or fact, and ethos, which has to do with the credibility that the reader feels, partly because you will strive to make the report feel objective. Reports also analyze and interpret research and facts. They make recommendations based on the research, and they cite sources appropriately, and that depends entirely on the context in which the report would circulate. So if you're looking for an academic setting for that circulation, then you're going to have a different kind of citation than if you're circulating in the public sphere. For the specific report we'll be doing for this class, I'm asking you to look at a public policy and report on that. The public policy needs to be relevant to a nonprofit organization of your choice. So, in this report, I'm asking you to demonstrate the relevance of the public policy to the organization, explain the facts about the public policy. What is it? Illustrate how the public policy affects the organization, making recommendations about the policy and how the organization should proceed with respect to the policy, and then the report must use at least one graphic representation of information relevant to the report. I've given you a link to the list for the Thanes Center for Community Service and Learning. This list, which is a wonderful list, indexes a whole bunch of nonprofit partners that are local to Salt Lake area. You can look at the list by discipline, that is, you can work on a discipline that's related to something you're studying, or you can go by issue, something that you're concerned about. I want us to take a look at a couple of different sites so you can sort of see how you might locate issues in reports and public policies. So let's say you're interested in environmental issues, and you might decide then that you wanted to go to the Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance site to look at that. For this organization, you'll see that there are public policies having to do with the work of the organization. There are specific policies that are being talked about right now. You can also look at their reports. If you go to the work site, the work page on their site, you can see that there are different reports. I've pulled up one so that we can take a look at it. This is the report on cultural resources on Bureau of Land Management, public lands. Okay, so this site looks at a whole bunch of different aspects of the cultural resources laws, funding, staffing, management, etc., and makes recommendations. And it goes topic by topic to make those recommendations, and then it summarizes them at the end. You'll see that the features of the report that we talk about in the chapter and in this presentation are present in this report as well. Here's a recommendation section. If you go to the end of the report, you can see a summary, sorry to be scrolling through so fast, of the recommendations. There you go. Okay, let's take another look at a different organization. Let's say we're interested in looking at Head Start. This is the Salt Lake site for Head Start. It doesn't have a whole bunch of resources on it, but it does give us some indication of some of the issues that deal with Head Start. Some of them might be issues of funding, but also you can see that it makes references to a bunch of reports that you would be able to find. I went to the Health and Human Services website to try and find reports, and I was able to find this report, which was a report made to Congress that talked about the status of children in Head Start programs. For this, I wanted to just highlight the fact that there are very simple graphs and charts in this report that try to index information in a way that the reader will make it easy for the reader to understand. Let's go back to our assignment. Okay, so once you have selected a nonprofit, identified a policy, then you need to brainstorm what you already know about the organization, look at resources that are on the website or referred to it on the website, then identify a public policy that affects the organization. It may take a little bit of work to get the right combination of nonprofit and policy that will enable you to do the research. So don't get too attached until you're able to find what you need to find. Okay, then you need to do additional research and then formulate your thesis or hypothesis. You may decide that you're not going to do sort of a specific methodology more than doing research, and in that case that's fine. Your report should contain these following sections. I hope this presentation helps you.